What springs to mind when you think of Joe Root? For most, the answer is rather simple: runs, and understandably so. In 135 test matches, the Yorkshireman has a whopping 11,325 of them, at an outrageous average of 50.11. Root is the creme de la creme of test batters, on par only with the very best of our funny little sport. Other answers likely allude to concepts such as fluency, perhaps class or innovation. Indeed, Root's textbook technique and obsession with improvement make the right-hander a joy to witness. Each of his 30 test tons an artwork of the highest cricketing order. You probably wouldn't picture his bowling. Yet, with the old enemy clawing their way towards a first innings lead in the 5th and final Ashes test, Root did what he's done so many times over the course of his 11-year career. Pitching a looping delivery wide of Alex Carey's off-stump, Root made the breakthrough. Eager to up the ante, Carey slapped the teasing delivery to Ben Stokes at mid-off, the 6th Aussie pole falling at a crucial moment in the decisive match. With the legendary likes of James Anderson and Stuart Broad spearheading an attack that contains both the fiery Mark Wood and the pinpoint Chris Woakes, Root wouldn't be many punters' first guess as to who would snag the seminal wicket. Yet, he did, and it's not the first time either. Rather, Carey's wicket was the latest in a long line of breakthroughs made by England's former skipper. One must only cast their mind back to the 4th test, when Marnus Labuschagne, well set having surpassed 100, snicked a leaping Root delivery to wicketkeeper Johnny Bairstow. With Labuschagne gone, the hungry England had victory within sight, and, if it weren't for rain, may very well have reached it. The 32-year-old's leaping off breaks, which tend to drift more than they spin, have proven more than handy throughout his esteemed career. Even in his very first Ashes series, a babyface Root had both Michael Clarke and Usman Khawaja caught in a game-changing spell at Trent Bridge. Now, this isn't to say that a bowling average of 43.68 is anything to write home about. Joe's taken his fair share of tap in exchange for 60 test poles, and is without doubt a world away from the Ravichandran Ashwins and Nathan Lyons of this world. Yet, considering the gargantuan number of runs he's scored, Joe's occasional contributions with the ball are a massive bonus for Ben Stokes, especially considering the sorry state of English spin at the minute. Furthermore, an average of 43.68 is in no way awful on non-turning English tracks. In fact, Root's home average of 39.20 is less than that of Ashley Giles, who managed 43.11 on British soil, despite being the Three Lions premier tweaker for over 8 years. Even by modern standards, Root's numbers stand up. Mitch Santner, who's often been New Zealand's sole spin option, has taken 41 test wickets at 45.63 runs a pop. West Indian all-rounder Roston Chase has a similar record, also averaging more than Root. Equally noteworthy is just how devastating Root's off-breaks can be when conditions suit. In Asia, where pitches tend to assist spin bowling, Joe's average of 31.75 is only marginally worse than that of Jack Leach. His sole test fifer, a blistering spell of 5 for 8 in 2020, stands testament to the terrible threat Root poses on turning tracks. Snicking off the savage Rishabh Pant with his first delivery, Root used a volatile Ahmedabad pitch to his advantage, ripping through a shell-shocked Indian order who were helpless to halt Root's rampage. Extracting sharp turn, he bamboozled the home side, who collapsed from 99 for 3 to 145 all out in a truly game-changing spell. Of course, most pitches don't offer what Ahmedabad did, especially in England. Yet, in the 4th innings or on the occasional spinning surface, Root's remarkable record remains, as does his handy knack of making a much-needed breakthrough. While a world away from the world's best, Joe Root's bowling ability is more than useful. Certainly good enough to hold his own on the world stage, Root can safely be considered a proper test spinner.